Alright, we are recording. Welcome back to the Alexandrian Codex. I'm Alex, this is a black screen, and on that black screen is going to be, this. There we go. I saw it a full 3 seconds before OBS did. Yeah, Banner Saga. So, truthfully, I've been watching Adam Coble play through this. He's just very, very good at making things seem appealing. Banner Saga, the original came out like 4 years ago. Last night, part of getting ready for this, I wanted to look at what the original coverage for this game was, and I went to look at Total Biscuit's WTF series because the Banner Saga was something he featured in that 4 years ago, which is fucking crazy. I feel like this game came out last year. Yeah, what a trip. So the entire series is out. The Banner Saga was crowdfunded with the intention of making a trilogy. The first part of the game was to help fund the second part, and the third part of the game is pretty cool. There's, a lot to say about how fucking beautiful this is. And the character art, just the ambiance. And if I shut up for a second, a very wintry sound. It's very quiet. It's really good ambiance. Really good. Yeah, we gonna hop in here and just get started. Actually, should I fuck with this? Profile 3? Yeah. The story in the Banner Saga changes based on the choices you make. You will occasionally switch between elite characters, witnessing the story unfold from different perspectives. Gods are dead. In their wake, man and giant survived through a tenuous alliance, driving black destroyers called Dredge deep into the northern wastes. Now is an era of growth and trade. Life goes on. Stoic.
Að sjá dreggjana á ferli neðan vor. It has been several long months on the road. The first signs of snowfall accost us on our approach to Strand, largest of the trade cities on the Val-human borders, and our last collection before returning to the capital. Several days ago, the sun simply came to a stop in the sky.
So pretty.
Though during these long winter days, none of us can be certain how long it has been this way. Some of the men in the caravan have taken it as a dire omen. I am not quick to superstition, but I myself will be glad to be done with this year's rounds. We have been warned by stranded travelers about brigands on the path through Ridgehorn, our road home. Our captain seems unconcerned. Perhaps he is as eager as I to be done here. We will rest here this day and inquire further when we speak to the governor.
Yeah, it's really good voice acting. It's not fully voice acted. Look at this animation.
Komið skjótt! Komið í höfnina miklu! Gist ég leyfa oss að syngja?
Yeah, it's very old school animation style. It reminds me a lot of stuff I used to watch as a kid.
Hverfið á braut! Engan
Is the sounding
eigin
okay?
hlut að máli þessu.
You've arrived just in time. The chieftain, in red, and his men are now looking at a tougher fight than they bargained for. Drag around the screen to see your surroundings, click the check mark to continue. Yeah, this is a really absurdly beautiful entrance to what this series is like. Really? Okay. The game volume sounds super loud to me, but I can just turn that down on my own. Just gorgeous and unnecessary levels of detail. I absolutely love it. I'm trying to look at these stories on the banners and figure out what the hell they're about. Okay. The portraits here show the order of initiative, taking turns from left to right. Your allies are in blue. The enemy is in red. Very easy. It's your turn to act. Movement happens before action. This ring shows your shield banger, what a name, is active. The blue tiles around him show where he can move. Some characters fill more tiles than others. The horned allies are a race of giants called Varl, who take up 4 tiles each, while humans take up a single tile. This can have a huge impact on your strategy. Click the tile you want to move to, then click the check mark to confirm. Move your shield banger here to get him into attack range. To target an enemy, click the tile on which they stand. Ally tiles are blue, the enemies are red. Target this enemy now by clicking his tile. You can choose to either attack the enemy's strength or break his armor. Armor. The numbers beneath each icon, 2 and 5, show the damage that you will do to that stat. Strength counts as both health and damage. A loss of 2 strength means you will do 2 less damage. If strength falls to 0, the character falls in battle. Armor blocks strength damage but can be reduced by a break attack. By breaking armor, you open them up to take more damage in the future. This enemy only has 5 strength remaining. A strength attack will kill him. Click the fist now to attack his strength, then confirm your choice. Each time you make a kill, your renown grows, which is used later to improve your characteristics. It's XP and it's generic currency. It's used for character progression, buying items, buying supplies, and I think that's it. Renown is really, really useful. After taking an action, you end turns. Next up is the enemy. Turns always alternate, even if you are outnumbered. So I want to point out, for people watching on YouTube, if you've made it this far, because this channel generally does grand strategy, there is more strategic depth. This is not just a turn-based tactics game, and it's a really good turn-based tactics game. There are also dope-ass role-playing elements. There's convoy management, so resource management, time management. There's a lot of strategy, but it starts you out with the core gameplay. The core gameplay is everything kind of circles around this turn-based tactics. Yep. Despite being at full strength, the chieftain will do little damage against your shield banger's high armor, which I can't preview, but I assume is high. Now it's your Warhawk's turn. He appears to be out of range of these enemies, but all characters can use willpower to boost their actions. Willpower is spent to move further, hit harder, and perform your ability, but does not replenish. The higher your willpower... okay, +2 morale due to... +2 due to high caravan morale. Yeah. The polar bear is pretty dope. It looks pretty chill with it. Tiny little dogs under the table. Yeah, this is as much as I can zoom in, but still, this level of detail is really gorgeous. It's damn charming, is what it is. Many fish on this table. I got some fish, got some... These look vaguely like some sort of bird, but I can't tell what. Excellent horns of mead, one would presume. I like how tiny the hands get the further you get back and the less the detail matters. Yeah, the game's called Banner Saga, and I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit because the sagas, the stories of people and their families are told in the banners that they have. That's why I'm lingering on the banners so much, to try to see the tiny detail and see how that's illustrated. Pheasants? Those are some badass pheasants. Like, a pheasant is not a big bird. A pheasant is, you know, about the size of your head, maybe? Maybe I'm wrong about that? Well, see, these look like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alright, we'll use willpower, so click on gold tiles. A character can move further than usual. It costs 1 willpower per gold tile. Red pulsing tiles, these two, beneath the enemy, show how close you have to get. You'll have to get to be within range. So we'll move here. We'll move Gunolf up here. Gunolf, by the way, I know is just a fucking god tier character. Standard attacks only affect a single enemy, but your Warhawk has a special ability that gives him a unique advantage. Click on his tile to access his ability. Clicking your character's tile will bring up all of your combat options, including move, which you can't do anymore, ability, attack, and end turn. Click the purple ability icon now. Tempest. The ability description appears in the tooltip below. Tempest. Strike adjacent enemies in a spin attack. Rank 1, normal strength damage to 2 adjacent enemies going clockwise from the target. Warhawk's Tempest allows him to slam multiple enemies at once. Select an enemy and then confirm your choice. Well, if it goes clockwise, we're selecting this man, right? So, clockwise from target. So, yes. Just gonna commit to that. Beautiful. Do I have the limited edition? I have... It was a gift, I don't remember what it is. It's the all-in-one, the collector's edition, but maybe not the limited edition? I don't know. There's one special title I don't get and one special item I don't get, but here, all else being equal, let me check this real quick. Just enjoy the beautiful music so we can get this out of the way real quick. Ah, Banner Saga! Banner Saga, what do I have? Banner Saga. Deluxe items. I don't remember. I should get Trinity. I think so. We'll find out. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. If I don't get Trinity, it's okay. That made quick work of the chieftain's bodyguards. There's only one enemy left. Players enter pillage mode. Players enter pillage mode. So if you get down to one enemy, or if there's down to one of you left, this implies the enemy doesn't get pillage mode. During pillage, each character moves in order, and there are no more guaranteed turns. Oh. Check the initiative to see how order has changed. Your allies now get to move twice in a row. Dang. If a character does not move on their turn, they can rest to gain 1 willpower. The chieftain will rest this turn. That seems like a poor move. Looks like... Alright, so Shieldbanger is just named Shieldbanger. So really, if I'm min-maxing this, I want to get the kill with fucking Gunolf, because Gunolf is a playable character. Shieldbanger doesn't have a name. The enemy never gets pillage mode. That's an interesting balance mechanic. Looks like the chieftain is in some trouble. Your Shieldbanger won't be able to finish the job with the normal attack, but willpower can be used to boost your damage. Am I... Okay, it's a tutorial, so I'm gonna have to do what you want. Well, the dudes in red were attacking the dude in yellow. They were attacking his feast. So we're just breaking up a fight. The context of who the fuck these people are and we are, it'll get explained. Click the fist and the stars above to add willpower. The number of stars available each turn are determined by your exertion stat. Exertion is the amount of willpower you can use on any given action. You will see the damage number go up as you add willpower. Click a star and then a green check mark to kill this enemy. I'll do 9. It says this every time. 6 whole renown. Continue.
Like a rabid wolf, that one.
How did it come to this? We fool ourselves believing that peace will last. My grandfather built all this from a poor fishing village, you know. He watched the gods die, watched the chaos that followed, watched man and var slaughter each other, even before the dreads arose. All we've done is traded one struggle for another. Now that there are no more dreads to war against, we war against ourselves. This chieftain meant to kill me, and he's not the first. A dozen families in the city would gladly take my chair. This one had men waylaying merchants, both north and south of the city, strangling trade quite well, I would add, though he denied it to his last. This sort of wolf doesn't stop biting because the head is cut off. It just grows a new head.
He sounds a lot like, God, that guy from The Expanse.
I'm in a bad way, my
Captain
friend.
of Naboo.
Help me finish this fight, and I'll gladly send you on your way with double our king's tithe. Take any men you need. They're loyal, I promise you that. They will meet you down in the proving grounds.
I mean, he sounds like the character with the Icelandic accent added on top, but only the sun has stopped. Chapter 1. Loading. You're approached by a familiar man who walks in step with you as you're leaving the Great Hall. He cuts to the chase. Wait. Oh, okay. Eirik, steward of Strand. I manage the governor's business. Even, is it? What do you want? The governor tells me you'll be giving us a hand. What did you have in mind? Scofflings you didn't hack up in the Great Hall scattered after you took out their chieftain. The governor just wants to make sure that they stay down. He's hoping you join me at the marketplace by the docks. If there's anyone left to worry about, I know who can tell us. Click the market tent to visit the merchant. I just like that I can pan around like this. And I really appreciate that panning around like this is a small detail. Look at the background here, how the foreground actually is set apart from it. It's like a pop-up book. I really like that effect. Oh, and hey, it even does it among the foreground. I thought that this moved with this, but no, they move separately. That's very cool. That's very cool. Alright, market tent. Let me handle this. You meander through rows of open-faced houses and eroded stalls. Colored canvases flap on a briny current. One man in particular blanches as you approach. Hot, I'm not in the mood today. For what? Talking to an idiot. Oh, you can do it in here! Holy shit! Alright. Major kudos to, to the designers for this. It's maybe unnecessary, but this is quite cool that you can do this. Not in the mood to talk to an idiot. The Scoffling's chieftain bled out about an hour ago had, so what you tell me what rat anus the rest of them crawled back into, nobody's gonna try to kill you this time. They don't talk to me. Say nothing. Eirik overturns this flimsy table, scattering Hod's assortment of junk across the ground. Gods, Eirik, laying it on a bit heavy, don't you think? Where are the Scofflings? Noblemen, up by Eastwall. That was months ago. Last I knew. Had skulks away with a wave of Eirik's hand gathering things from his hovel, disappearing for a while until this blows over. You figure. Your bodyguard steps forward. Gunnelf. What have you done here? Gunnelf, were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? This is such a weird and unnecessary comment. So Gunnelf, and what we just played, I think was wearing red, but for some reason they decided to change Gunnelf's character from wearing red to wearing green. And instead of just changing that sprite, they're self-aware enough to go like, aha, yeah, we changed the color, we know. we decided to make it. I don't know. It's quite odd. Were you wearing green back at the Great Hall? No. Just bought them while you were walking around. Why? You look like a frog. Ah, no, you look good, buddy. I'm glad you care. Gunelf goes to look at more stalls. Eirik, that man of yours seemed unreliable, at best. Blind dog wouldn't trust Had, but he used to be a scalpling. If they're licking their wounds, they've probably gone to old haunts, not new ones. Nobleman is Meadhall. Ruben's eyes look so tired. I feel that. Best I can tell, the name's ironic. Listen, I know a guy who'd love to put a few of these skulls in the ground. I'm going to find him. I'll meet you there. Did we agree on an approach of some sort? Where's this place again? Nobleman is halfway up the hill towards the Great Hall. You won't miss it. Make sure the governor remembers his promise. Double usual tithe. All right. I'm bad with voices. I don't do voices, he says, doing a voice. Alright, meat house. I want to go to there. I don't know what that is, but it's up on a hill and has a magnificent tower. You arrive in what appears to be Nobleman. A few minutes later, Eirik appears with a weather-beaten man introduced as Valgar. I'll point them out, Eirik says over his shoulder. Ready? Let's get this over with. That's the spirit, says Valgar. Okay, here we go. Valgar boots the front door open so hard it won't close again without repair. As you enter the hall, Eirik is already at the head of the table, his axe drawn. Wide-eyed, drunken scalplings scramble to find their own weapons, turning tables and mead steins in the process. Now we're just going to take 10 minutes to just admire everything pretty in here. God, can you imagine going to a bar where they butcher and cook deer and boar right in front of you? That's some opulent shit. I mean, at this time period it's not opulent, but probably not the best, you know, health and safety code, especially considering there's just like what seems to be a watering trough over here. Alright, you know, it's got faults, but it could be cool. I can move these folks around, can't I? Alright, Shieldbanger, you don't have a name. Eirik has a name. But Shieldbanger ain't got no name. Let's put this up a little bit. Okay, Valgar. You have Shield Wall. +1 armor to adjacent allies and to self. Stone Wall blocks damage to strength and armor for 1 round. Okay, temporary invincibility. That's quite cool. So Light Step lets you move through allies. Well, I guess you're going back here. Rally gives willpower to allies at any range. Cool. Return the favor. When hit by an adjacent enemy, counter the attack for 1... Okay. 1 damage. 1 armor damage, importantly. Gunelf has Heavy Tempest, which splash damage 1 strength damage, and then Heavy Impact. Oh, Heavy Impact does a splash 1 strength damage, regardless. And Tempest, strike adjacent enemies in a spin attack. Interesting, okay. Red. What does this indicate? Oh, it triggers this. Yeah, hell yeah, leave this on. Look at that. It's gonna be butchery. You can move up here. You can move up here. So I want to move like right here just to be sure that I don't get hit. And that you can't hit me. Yeah, I'm quite sure. Just go here. Stonewall? I mean, nobody can... If they use willpower, they can get up to me. None of you can. Yeah, I guess Stonewall. Sure. Why not? You can, yep, move about the same, so let's just get Eirik to move right here. That's great. And turn. Ah, so you attack the guy who can't be hurt. Cool, thanks. This isn't going to use willpower. Yeah, okay. Go ahead and move up. Oh, it is. Okay, well, I'm learning. So, attack you, absolutely. 4 damage or go after... armor, probably? And then Gunno goes over here and says goodbye to this man. Valgard, you have Shield Wall, gives +1 armor to adjacent allies and yourself. So I'd like to keep you adjacent to him. Okay, that should be a kill next time around. Eirik, what do you do? You can move through allies, that's not super helpful, but okay. Put some spice on that. Goodbye. I think... Alright, can't outright kill either of you because of the armor damage, or the strength damage we've taken. Go ahead, drop that armor down a little bit more. I'm being more cautious than I typically would. So I think this red number indicates how much damage we would potentially do. It's quite helpful. Yeah, move here. Am I right about that? I am. Okay, that's quite cool. That preview's super helpful. Alright, so you just got promoted. And now it's on you. I can do 4 against you. Staying here gives both of them +1 armor, but I'll get a turn before you do. It's better to be proactive, I think. Stonewall? Nah. Yeah, let's just go ahead and blow to willpower on this, just to get the kill. 1 damage. Oh, that's encouraging. Can get up to 3. All right. Let's just buck up your armor a little bit. Get hurt. You can do 4 to them, 2 to them. Yeah, I suppose I'll hit you. Shield banger, I'm really letting you down. Goodbye. Yep, go there. Get you. Goodbye. I'm not super familiar with the different characters and what each of them do. Defeat an enemy. Oh, hey. Achievement. 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 And I didn't kill anyone with the shield banger, did I? No, okay. Gun Elf is promoted. He's the only one with the name that we keep, I think? Gun Elf is the only one I care about. 8 renown. There they are. Gods be damned. Gotta go wash off this blood. Eirik is looking into the hall's windows onto the bay. Fleet of longships approach with sails of gold, reds, and blues. One banner I know well. Volknir. Next for our kingship, last we spoke. The other flag. Looks important. Ah, important guests. See what I deal with all day long? Ah, things make a little more sense. You'd hope I'd have a say-kin saying everything's fine here when the royal guests arrive. Not me, the governor. Now, I have to make sure there are no rotting bodies, pools of entrails, still in the Great Hall before they come by. Can I ask for one more favor? What is it? If you happen to stow our guests down on the dock, I wouldn't object. Maybe I will. Eirik and Valgard hustle from the meat house. To his credit, Eirik tosses the barkeep a spar of silver for the mess. You give an apologetic shrug and go to greet the new arrivals down at the docks. Here's the same group of Varl and the humans walking by again. Alright, let's go down to the docks. Vognir. A familiar Varl steps down onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version tramping the halls of Grofheim, abundant in purpose. God, Zubin, you're looking ancient. Comes with being old. And if there is Vognir here, then there must be Hakon. Right there, I mean, we can see Hakon, right? There, yeah. Must there. Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid, old Yox. At what age do you lose a sense of shame? Jornder demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense you were so far from home. Just returned from Arborang, in fact. I'm glad for it. Hakon motions to other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering, golden wolf-head emblazoned on red. The king of men, or someone on his behalf. The king's whelp. The king's son, Ludin. Don't you know, Scrivener? We visit his capital, he visits ours. It's how you make alliances these days. It's a miserable waste of time. Yes, Hakon has it. Almost forgotten. It's a good thing you're around, Hakon. Then you're going to Grofheim. I have the distinct feeling I've finished my business in Strand. Was headed there myself. We should caravan. We should. Give it a day. In better circumstances, I'd drink a week away, but it's just be done. Find me tomorrow at the gates. What he's trying to say is the prince is a delight to behold. Where's Mogir? Hakon. Have him find a place to put up the warriors. I'm heading up to meet the governor. A host of giants departs in his wake. You recognize a few. Others are strangers to you. Guess I'm off to find Mogir. See you in the morning, Scrivener. I'll be along. The young prince of men ambles from his ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. Ludin looks for all the world the sort of boy who grew up pulling legs from spiders. Ah, the long road back to Grofheim should be more interesting than most years, you think. Weariness suddenly settles in. You chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it's been. One of the governor's men in the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, you're looking to join Volknir's caravan tomorrow. Might not hurt to share a drink with Hakon, or introduce yourself to the prince they spoke so highly of. Yeah, let's talk to Ludin. Is this the right place? You find the prince at the inn. An inn. Guards blanket the building, including a sharp-eyed Varl who must be working for Ludin. A woman in red eventually waves you over and stands nearby, arms crossed. Greetings, Prince Ludin. Yes. You're with Vognir? I don't remember you. Not exactly. I've known Vognir a long time. I'll be joining you back to Grofheim with my guards. Ludin looks up for the first time. The woman doesn't react. Why? I work for the king, carrying tithes to the capital. We crossed. By chance. Oh, tax collector. Fine company. What do you want? I'd hoped to learn more about you. Oh, well, you seem to know who I am. Do you have what you need? What an ass! So I do. I won't keep you. You leave wordlessly. Seemed clear that Ludin was in no mood to talk. Or he's a miserable cur. Man, I knew Ludin was unlikable if you picked the other two options, but no, it turns out Ludin is just a real prick regardless of what you pick. Hakon. Scrivener. You find Hakon in a mead house, surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Straight for a flagon. Vognir's the one who agreed to pass up a drink. I wasn't invited to the governor's hall anyway. You already missed the massacre. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's human settlements get me in trouble. No surprise. What's this time? When I got here, the Great Hall was already full of bodies. We added a few more. Humans. I guess if I only lived as long as a Yoxfart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. It's not too late to start trying, Hakon. Hakon let slip a low chuckle. Any Varl could recount his deeds. Known as he is for cutting a swath through Dredge at Vognir's side in the Second War, and regularly since then. Down here, I'm a glorified bodyguard. Might have a point. Just another reason to get back to glorifying. Soon enough, I imagine. You drink until the mead house becomes overbearing, then step back into the cool air outside. All that's left to do is go to the Great Hall, I suppose. One supply. At dawn, you're awoken by delivery of goods. At least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with the sun that never moves. The governor's crest adorns the supply leathers. It's all there, just as promised. To your mild surprise. You wonder if Eirik had anything to do with that. It's 20 renown. Your guards take a treasure wagon down to the gates. Vognir is here already. A while later, Ludin and his men appear groggy and disheveled. Mulger steps forward, Vognir's quartermaster. Isn't quartermaster one word? Ah, whatever. If you recall correctly, in charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. Already. You follow Mulger and the others. Usually, the small doors down by the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort. It's frustrated, tired people. Summarizes Strand as well as a whole, you think. Goodbye, Tutorial Village. Now we are in Tutorial Land. I can zoom into this. The animation on here is great. It's simplistic. It only needs to be. I can't click and drag left and right anymore. The caravan stops for a day. A gift, says Mulger, cracking open mead casks, from our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed down through the camp. Toast to Vognir. You raise your drink, toasting the alliance between man and Varg. The others join in. Ludin's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually, you sit down beside Vognir. Yodeling game from The Price is Right. You're not wrong. Yeah, chat with Vognir. Thanks for the speech. Where's Vognir? Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Morgan. I thought the damn governor would never shut up. Did he give you the history of his entire family? He tried. Then he asked me to clean up his mess. To your benefit, turns out. I'd have given the job to you too. Ah, it's no joy in politics. Speaking of, what happens after this business with Luden? Hopefully, the boy goes back to Arborang on his own, and I can take out some frustration on Dredge or something. Starting to sound like Aegon. You don't like the life of a diplomat. Don't you miss the fight, Ubin? You down your meat instead of replying. Volknir slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge, but this... Pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be, warriors would follow you for what you've done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm next in line? These lines are getting muddy, old bro. They've always been muddy, Volknir. Volknir stands into the campfire, lost in thought. Leave him to it. Ah, yeah. Man, I love how moderately depressing this game is. You rise groggily, a campsite, a casualty of merriment. Morgur is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Luden stalking your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up. You nudge Volknir. You're needed. Ah, it's Luden. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Volknir releases a caged rod and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grovheim? We're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. Give me that sweet war dump! I fucking love maps. I mean, if you watch this channel at all, and you've seen me do a screen cap instead of a game capture, you know my background is just a series of hundreds of maps strung together. Plains of Slaughter! What a fucking name! Mudway! Downcrossing, Ormsford, Fixvik, Fiskabay, Fisheye, Lundar, the Old Wood, Brunthal. This is a map of the world. You can explore it by dragging the mouse to pan. Oh, I'm way ahead of you, buddy. And using the mouse wheel to zoom. Yup. The vast. The location of your caravan is located here, by Ubin's icon. The world map is covered with many locations and holds much lore. You can explore the map at any time, clicking on the locations for more information. Dude, tell me? Yeah, what the fuck is this? The constellations. Well, the constellations at one time represented not only the gods, but a way to navigate the seas at night. Since the gods have died, the stars form nothing but random, faint patterns. Transportation. Where longship and horse once ruled travel, eventually the waterways became mapped out. Horses were eradicated by horseborn, cities became landlocked. Man and Varl became more accustomed to walking great distances with great pack animals called yaks. They're never leaving their homes at all. Yeah, I know the X button will let me exit. Vorten? Vorten. There's something deeply unsettling about the island at the top of the world called Vorten. And those who have dared to travel here say they left almost immediately. Not because of something they discovered, but for the unearthly sounds they did not wish to discover the source of. Alright, yeah. Kletberg. A straightforward name for what is essentially a rock of ice, floating listlessly out in the vast. As far as anyone knows, no man, varl, dredge, or animal has lived here. Seems likely no one ever will. God, fuck. I want a tabletop role-playing game in this setting. I want more content in this setting. I haven't even played an hour of this game yet, and I'm already impressed. Maps are a good way to just get me fucking hype about something. Strait of Harrows. The Strait of Harrows is one of the most aptly named passages. Watery grave to hundreds of longships that endeavor to explore the frozen north or find northerly passage to eastern coasts. The ever-shifting ice floes and glaciers make the strait nearly unmappable, and soon, without much of a reason to pass in the first place, it became unused by men or Varl. The Hammer. The counterpart to the anvil placed by the gods to smash the ice here in the north. It's more likely there was once a land bridge connecting the anvil to the hammer, and that shifting ice would crash against itself repeatedly. This is a decidedly more mundane explanation. The anvil. At the top of the world is a piece of ice that looks as though it's been thoroughly smashed by a god's hammer. It's more likely there was once a land bridge connecting the two. Dunder's Beard. An enormous land of ice separated from the rest of the world by a frozen strait. Dunder's Beard is a place you would name after the gods, and leave them to it as well. The few who have explored the blasted wasteland have either found nothing, or never been found again. What the fuck is this? The cardinal directions. Early did mankind begin sailing up and down the coasts, but also out into the vast, searching for new continents. Of the many secrets the early sailors learned was the sunstone, which helped them to deduce the direction they were sailing, even when the sun shrouded behind clouds. So, you looked for new continents. Did you find them? Just because the map is limited to this, we can see this seal goes off screen, and some of these engravings or other things clearly go off screen, so this... I think it's implied this is a part of a bigger world. Though, I don't know, like, most continents don't just end like this. It's very Lord of the Rings in that it seems to imply that there's more, but doesn't actually say that there's more. Oh god, we might go in and read about more stuff. Let's just read about where we are, and yeah. So, Strand. As close as anything comes to a bastion of racial tolerance, both men and Varl compete to scratch out a living in this, the biggest trade city along the western coast. Many people still believe God Dangler watches over it, granting a good fortune. Karlsfjord. The fjord splitting off into Varl territory was named after Karl, the only Varl to become governor of Strand, albeit for only a short time before the title returned to human families whose ancestors originally built the city. This is really pretty. The right foot, the left foot. Dangler's Bay, Ridgehorn, Shiver Rocks, Spine Isles. There's so much to read. It's too much to read. It's too much to interestingly read on stream. I know, because for, some things I've gone on, but this I'm not going to do. What's up with this? Brackish Sea? Not much is said about the Brackish Sea, except for occasionally, it's not the Brackish Sea, or as long as we don't end up in the Brackish Sea. By no means the most treacherous waters are widely held as the least pleasant. It is sludge and equally fragrant. If it's brackish, that's clean water, that's fresh water and salt water mixed together. Interesting. God, I'm curious about that. So we're here, Grofheim is up here. We're like a day out. We got a ways to go. We head north, and east past forts. Grofheim's far from Strand. Going to be a long march. Should have drank last night, Luden. Why not take the ships to Skirmstead? What's the point of marching? Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. Tear up the longships. Bad though. Could have shown you all the wonders of Skirmstead. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge. Glaciers. You like glaciers. Luden exhales through the nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Vognir. Seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to jump off of, too. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Hagon. Thanks, Borgnir. Let's get moving. Another half day to Verderfell for lucky. No, but show me the camp. Alright, good. Camp. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by tapping the Camp button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies, equip items in the hero's tent, or you can pass time using the Rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. A high morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Also, doesn't say it here, it makes you travel faster. Each passing day will also use supplies, so only rest when necessary. I was looking at the wiki. The speed of your caravan is determined by like 6 different factors, some of which that contradict each other. Fucking fascinating how deep this game actually is. The training tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Tap leave at the bottom of the campsite when you're ready to get back on the road. Well, definitely training. Alright, nope, apparently I click on the hero's tent. Okay, game. You're the boss. Click on a unit to view stats, promote ranks, and learn about abilities. Well, Gun Elf. Gun Elf is... When Ubin became the Varl King's tax collector, he was given an entourage of bodyguards to help transport gold collected across... Crown? Is that an H? Crown? Brun? Is that... I guess that's an H. Gunnulf is the only one from the original group still alive, and for good reason. So Tempest, yeah, it's a sweet fucking adjacent attack, sweeping attack, heavy impact. This character hits so hard, any enemies standing adjacent to his target on a strength attack receive 1 damage from the shockwave. Hitting a large target, like a Varl or a Dredge who take out 4 tiles, can potentially cause an impact across many more victims than hitting a single tile target such as a human. Interesting. Fucking interesting. So this, Tempest, benefits him from being in the middle of stuff, so he can hit up to 4 enemies at a time if you level this up, whereas Heavy Impact helps if the people next to you are surrounded by people. So there's some interesting positioning going on. Let's click the promote button. Promotion. The greatest warriors on the battlefield are those who have passed their first battles to start a journey down the path to legend. You get higher stats and increase your item rank. It costs 5 renown. Yes. Yes, please. This unit has points available to spend on improving stats. Activate one of the plus buttons above. So, this is armor. This is strength. This is... willpower? Yeah, okay, thank you. Willpower is how much you have to spend. Exertion is how much you can spend. Break is the amount of direct damage you can naturally do to an enemy's armor. I'm very tempted just to put it in strength, but he currently has 0 of 2 exertion? Yeah, nah, I'm gonna max out exertion. Why not? Well, cause I'm worried about overusing willpower. Willpower is spent to move further, hit harder, and perform your ability, but does not replenish. Does not replenish in battle, or does not replenish at all. Because it must replenish at all. Let's be smart about this. Just boost things that I understand. Ludin is a spearmaster. Ludin is the prince of men, the first heir of a vast kingdom. Though disliked by peers and rivals on account of his highborn attitude, you question his intelligence, combat skills, or courage. He skewers his enemy, doing normal strength damage before kicking them away, doing knockback and causing them to bleed if they move on their next turn. A target who's bleeding will take 1 strength damage for each tile that they move, which can be especially deadly for enemies that are moved against their will. I see. So using this repeatedly? Okay. Embolden. Each kill the character makes encourages allies to fight harder, granting 1 willpower to the unit and any adjacent allies. Interesting. Not crazy about Luden, but interesting. Hakon is something of a legend in Varro culture. When he met Vognir, it was during the Second Great War, in which the two became known for cutting a swath through the dredge while others were struggling just to stay alive. Vognir was always a charismatic leader, but there was no question about which of the two would win in a fight. Yeah, it is a pretty smooth animation. So Sundering Impact, he wreaks an additional +1 strength and also adds 1 break damage to the target, plus bonuses to heavy impact. Sundering Impact, best used when carefully positioned to impact isn't... Oh, wait. No, okay. It hits even harder, no chance to miss, can wreak havoc, so... Break, strength, break, it just can't miss, it'll always hit. Interesting. Heavy Impact. The character hits so hard... Oh, right. He has heavy impact. Oh, okay, so this makes your heavy impact do even more damage. Interesting. So he can wear down big groups of enemies at once. Mulgur is our shield master. Mulgur is an old hand in Varro culture. Long on the front line of the fight against the Dredge, he's had the occasional brush with leading a clan of his own, but eventually settled well into commanding Vognir's personal army of Varro warriors. He is highly respected among them. He has Bring the Pain. The character strikes an adjacent enemy for armor break damage before hunkering down and boosting his passive ability, Return the Favor, to return even more damage for 1 turn. By using Bring the Pain, he can create a forward charge that punishes enemies for ganging up on him. So it does a break attack and +1 to Return the Favor. Return the Favor. Enemies who attack him lose 1 point of armor for each strike. On the character. Return the Favor triggers every time he takes damage from an adjacent enemy, which can make it devastating to hit him with attacks that strike multiple times. Especially if you add this up. Okay. Alright, cool. Well, TIL. Train. Units move in the order you place them, from left to right. This initiative order is very important when setting up strategies. For example, put archers after melee units so they can stay safe behind your heavy hitters. Drag the unit icon to rearrange your turn order. Alright, Mulgur is very tanky. Luden seems like he should probably go last, or not at all. Hakon, what's your shit? You do good AoE. Alright, so Mulgur because he's very tanky, then Gunoff because he hits really hard and benefits from being surrounded. Hakon, these two are kind of interchangeable. Luden I won in the back because he's a little baby. I'm gonna put in a cut here because it's been about an hour. I'm gonna keep streaming naturally, but if you are watching this on YouTube, this is it for today. Stop by again tomorrow. Until then, make sure to comment, share, like, subscribe. Oh, that's silly shenanigans. Until then, toodaloo, take care. I will see you tomorrow. Toodaloo, bye-bye.